Have you ever wondered how someone who walked with God's people ended up living in one of the most wicked cities in history? It didn't happen overnight. It happened one step at a time. The story of Lot is not just about the destruction of Sodom. It is a warning about the danger of small compromises. Because the greatest falls rarely begin with one terrible decision. They begin with one small step in the wrong direction. Lot was Abraham's nephew. He had witnessed God's blessings. He had traveled with one of the greatest men of faith in the Bible. God had prospered both Abraham and Lot so greatly that the land could no longer support all of their livestock together. So Abraham gave Lot the first choice. He could choose whichever land he desired. The Bible tells us that Lot looked toward the plain of the Jordan. It was green, beautiful, rich. Everything appeared perfect. But Scripture also gives us an important warning. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. Lot knew what kind of city it was, yet he chose the land because it looked better. Sometimes what looks best can lead us furthest from God. Notice how the Bible describes Lot's journey. At first, he simply looked towards Sodom. Then he pitched his tents near Sodom. Later, he was living inside Sodom. Eventually, he was sitting at the city gate, a place of influence and leadership. He didn't arrive there in one day. Compromise is almost never sudden. It is gradual, one decision, one excuse, one step, until what once shocked us becomes normal. Years passed. Then one day, God sent 2 angels to Sodom. Lot welcomed them into his home. But before the night was over, the city revealed just how corrupt it had become. The angels warned Lot. Judgment was coming. The city would be destroyed. Lot pleaded with his family to leave. Some laughed at him. They thought he was joking. How tragic. When people become comfortable with sin, they often stop believing that judgment is real. Finally, the angels took Lot, his wife, and his daughters by the hand and led them out of the city. As they escaped, they gave one simple command: escape for your life. Do not look back. Imagine that moment. Fire was about to fall from heaven. God was leading them towards safety. All they had to do was keep moving forward. But then, Lot's wife looked back. The Bible tells us she became a pillar of salt. Why did she look back? Perhaps because her heart was still attached to the life she was leaving behind. Sometimes our feet leave the past, but our hearts remain there. God was offering her a new beginning, yet she couldn't stop looking behind. How often do we do the same? God calls us to leave behind bitterness, but we keep looking back. He calls us to leave sinful habits, but we miss them. He calls us into a new life, yet we continue longing for the old one. Jesus himself later gave this simple warning. Remember Lot's wife. Only 3 words, yet they carry a timeless message. Don't let your heart remain attached to what God is calling you to leave behind. Perhaps you're standing at your own crossroads today. Maybe God is asking you to walk away from something that is slowly pulling you away from Him. A relationship, a habit, a lifestyle, a compromise you've been excusing for far too long. Remember Lot. He didn't wake up one morning trapped in Sodom. He moved closer, one choice at a time. But the good news is this: God's mercy reached Lot even when he had placed himself in danger. God still extended his hand. God still made a way of escape. And He does the same for us today. If God is calling you to leave something behind, don't hesitate. Don't bargain. Don't look back. The future God has prepared for you is greater than anything you're leaving behind. Trust Him enough to keep moving forward. Because every step toward God is a step away from destruction, and every act of obedience brings you closer to the life He has always wanted for you. Escape for your life. Do not look back. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is refusing to look back at the very thing God has rescued you from.